You know how sometimes you're reading or maybe just chatting and certain words kind of pop out?
Uh-huh. Things you hear all the time?
Exactly. Words you think you know, but maybe haven't really dug into.
Definitely.
Well, that's what we're doing today. Think of this as like a backstage pass, getting a bit more well-informed about the sneaky richness hiding in everyday English.
I like that sneaky richness.
It's true.
So our mission for this deep dive
Mm.
to really unpack four expressions we've got: ameliorate, bring up, effervescent,
Mhm.
and everyone's favorite hot mess.
Oh, hot mess. Good one. Yeah, we've got some interesting stuff on these. It's not just definitions, is it?
No way.
It's more about understanding why these words and phrases work the way they do, why they carry the meaning they do.
And how knowing that adds a bit more precision, color.
Both, I'd say. Precision and color to how you use the language and how you understand it.
Okay, let's get started then. First up, ameliorate.
Right.
It just sounds like it's trying to make things better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does have that feel. And yeah, that's pretty much spot on.
But it feels a bit more formal than just, say, improve or fix.
Yes, definitely more formal. And it
Mm.
usually implies you're trying to make a negative situation less severe, more manageable.
Okay, like in that example. To ameliorate the economic impact of the crisis, the government introduced new stimulus measures.
Perfect example. See, it's tackling a big negative thing, the economic crisis.
So you wouldn't really ameliorate your already good cooking skill.
Huh. Probably not. You'd improve those. Ameliorate is almost always about addressing a problem, a difficulty, lifting something out of a bad state.
Gotcha. And where does this word actually come from? It feels, I don't know, Latin, French.
Good instincts. Both, really. It came into English early 18th century. If you trace it back, you hit Latin meliorare,
Meaning?
simply to make better. But it seems to have come via French, which added that A prefix, so it's a bit of a mix.
Like a linguistic layer cake. Love it. Any tricks for remembering it?
Well, one source had a neat idea: link ameliorate to amend.
Ah, like you're amending something broken.
Exactly. Think of amelioration as the act of amending a rough road,
Hmm.
smoothing it out, helps it stick.
That does help. And it reinforces that idea of fixing something not quite right.
hmm And if you need other words, well, improve is the obvious one. Enhance, upgrade, refine. They're all in the same ballpark.
But with slightly different flavors. Upgrade feels more technical, maybe? Refine, more subtle.
Precisely. Ameliorate really focuses on making that bad situation better, easing the negative aspect.
Okay, I think we've successfully ameliorated any confusion there.
Hopefully.
Let's shift gears. We've got a phrasal verb next.
Well, this one's a real workhorse, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It does a lot of heavy lifting. A great example of how useful phrasal verbs are.
So the most common meaning is probably just mentioning something, right?
Yeah, introducing a topic into the conversation like, uh, during the meeting, she decided to bring up the issue of remote work.
Just putting it on the table, making it part of the discussion. Exactly. You're lifting it up into view, conversationally speaking.
But then there's the other meaning, the big one.
Raising children.
Yeah, like they brought up their children with great care. That feels totally different, much more involved.
Completely different weight. It covers
Yeah.
everything: nurturing, teaching, guiding them into adulthood. It's a huge, long-term process.
So same words bring up, but worlds apart in meaning.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder if that shared up gives any kind of subtle link, like bringing a topic up for people to see and bringing children up.
Up through childhood into maturity. That's an interesting thought. A movement into visibility or growth.
Maybe. Just a thought. For remembering them, you can visualize, like physically bringing a topic up.
Like holding up a sign in a meeting.
Yeah. Versus the slow, gradual process of lifting kids up as they grow.
That works. And synonyms. For the topic sense, it's like mention, introduce.
Discuss, maybe.
Yeah.
And for the children's sense,
Raise, rear, those fit well.
it really shows how versatile a simple two-word phrase can be.
Okay, from the very grounded bring up, let's float away to something. Sparkly. Effervescent.
Ooh, I like that one. It sounds like what it is.
Totally. You hear it and you think of bubbles,
Yeah.
fizz.
Exactly. It describes that bubbly enthusiasm, a really lively, vibrant personality.
Or actual bubbles, like in a drink.
Right. It works for both, but often used for people, someone who just radiates energy and joy.
Like the example. Her effervescent personality lit up the room, making everyone feel welcome. You can just picture that, can't you?
Absolutely. We all know people like that. They just seem to bubble with positivity.
Where does this fizzy word come from?
Oh, it's straight from Latin again.
Effervescere.
Effervescere. Okay. Meaning
It literally means to boil up.
boil up, really. That seems so much more vigorous than the light, bubbly feeling.
It does, doesn't it? Quite a contrast. But maybe it's like the energy is boiling up from within. It came into English in the 17th century? Interesting. So to remember it, the sources suggested just thinking of
An effervescent drink. All those bubbles.
Yeah.
We're picturing someone whose personality just effervesces, constantly bubbling over.
It's very sensory, that word. You can almost feel the fizz.
You can. And if you need alternatives,
Spirited, vivacious, bubbly, of course, exuberant. They all capture that lively energy.
yeah, full of life feeling.
Yeah. All right. So we've improved things with ameliorate, introduced topics, and raised kids with bring up, fizzed with effervescent. Now what?
Now we brace ourselves
Oh.
for the charming chaos of the hot mess.
Oh, yes. Hot mess. A modern classic.
It really is, and it's such a great piece of slang because it captures something very specific.
Which is that mix of disaster and something else.
Exactly. It's a person or situation that's disorganized, messy, chaotic,
Uh-huh.
but there's often something appealing or alluring about it, or maybe just excusable.
Disorder plus allure.
Yeah.
Okay, like the example. Even though her plans for the vacation were a hot mess, her infectious excitement made it all worthwhile.
Perfect. The plans were chaos, probably stressful, but her vibe saved it. Made it fun even.
We've all been there, right? Either being the hot mess or dealing with one.
Oh, absolutely. Those times when things are falling apart slightly, but the energy's good, or it's funny, or it just works out anyway. Sometimes because of the mess.
Where did this phrase come from? Feels quite American.
It is believed to be Southern American slang, mid-20th century maybe.
Yeah.
And apparently it might have started in the military,
A military? How?
describing chaotic food situations, like a mess hall meal gone wrong, a literal hot mess.
A literal hot mess. I love that. From chaotic cafeteria food to endearingly disorganized people.
Language evolution right there. It's moved from the literal mess to this more figurative, often quite affectionate term.
Yeah, that hot part is key, isn't it? It adds something
Playful.
intriguing, playful.
Definitely. It signals it's not just a mess, it's a mess with something extra. Maybe irony, maybe genuine appeal, makes it compelling.
So the memory aid is basically just picturing that a chaotic scene you can kind of laugh at and describe as hot or interesting messiness.
Pretty much. It captures that playful tone. It acknowledges the flaws, but finds charm in them.
Like embracing the beautiful disaster you said earlier.
Exactly. For synonyms, the mess part is easy. Disarray, chaos, turmoil.
But the hot part, that alluring, charismatic bit, harder to pin down with one word.
It is. Because it's so tied up in the slang meaning, the cultural context. Intriguing, compelling, endearing. None quite capture the whole package.
That's the magic of slang, I guess, that blend of negative mess and positive hot.
It's what makes it so expressive.
Okay, wow. So we've covered quite a bit. We dug into ameliorate, making bad things better.
Unpack the two sides of bring up mentioning versus raising.
Got swept up in the bubbly energy of effervescent.
And navigated the charming chaos of the hot mess.
It really shows how much richness there is, even in phrases we use without thinking too much.
Absolutely. Formal words, informal slang, phrasal verbs, they all give us different ways to see and talk about the world. Understanding a bit about their background, their nuances, it just deepens that connection.
It definitely gives you more tools, doesn't it, for expressing yourself more precisely or just appreciating the language more.
Mm-hmm. Adds more color.
So maybe keep an ear out today. See if you spot a chance to ameliorate something small. Or notice when someone brings up one of these topics.
Maybe you'll meet someone truly effervescent or find yourself in a delightful hot mess situation.
Hopefully delightful. Which brings us to a final thought.
Yeah.
Think about the choices we make. Why say ameliorate instead of just improve? What does that signal?
Good question. It adds a certain weight, doesn't it? Acknowledges the problem more directly.
Right. Or, on the flip side, think about hot mess. Why has that term, with its negative core, become so popular and even sometimes affectionate?
What does that say about how we view imperfection, maybe? Or the humor we find in chaos?
Exactly. It's in those little word choices that we're constantly shaping how we understand things and how we present them, something to mull over.